It's a cold, dark night. You have nowhere to go. You haven't eaten in 2 days. There's no gas in your car, and it's getting colder. Then, your baby cries, and it's 1,000 times worse. For over 1,000 people a year, that nightmare ends here, with a warm meal, a clean bed, and safety for their children. This is the Christian shelter in Salisbury. For more than 23 years, people in crisis have been able to come here for a hand up.
Homelessness has many faces, so the service that we provide for homeless guests is very diverse. The babies who are here might need diapers, might need baby food. Adults get transportation helps to look for jobs, referrals to job markets, guidance as to their personal crises.
Some of them come in here that don't have anything but the clothes on their back. We give people clothes. And
if they've never been here before, I think they're kind of amazed at just how nice it is. This is a fully heated and air-conditioned building. We really have got state-of-the-art controls, fire alarm systems, I mean everything here.
People that can, with compassion, with personal interest, begin to guide them towards where to look for a job, how to look for a job, where to get help with some of the things that they've been struggling with.
This is really a very home-like atmosphere. I think it really kind of puts any of our guests at ease, you know, as soon as they come here.
So service is just an inherent major feature here, and it is a 24-hour-a-day, 365-day-a-year service with the love of Jesus Christ.
Basic needs are taken care of here, and a lot more.
They're kind of putting themselves in your hands and saying, we got no place to turn, no place to go now. Can you help us? But in part, it's a delight because we can. Because we got something more to offer than just a bed and some food to eat. And we know that it's there, and we know it works because we've seen it work before.
Yes, basic needs are taken care of here, but even more important is the chance to feel the power of Jesus Christ.
Our purpose is to point the guest to Jesus Christ.
What meant the most to me was the devotion hour. I think being able to get even an hour's worth of devotions after a full day, it strengthened me in my religion, and it kept me wanting more and kept me wanting to come back for the next night's devotion. That really meant a lot to me.
We have services here every night of the year, Monday through Saturday at 7 o'clock. We have praise and worship for about an hour each day, each evening. And on Sunday we have a worship service here.
This all began when a small group of Christians gathered in a local church basement to pray.
prayer has been the basis of the whole thing. When we got first started, we started meeting in the basement of the church over there and the original board, and we met once a week to pray. We had no money, no idea what we were going to do, anything, except the Lord had laid it on our hearts that we needed a homeless shelter. And so we said, Lord, if you want to use us, use us. We don't know what we're doing. And we used to have a sign, Lord, make wise our blunders, and he did, because we blundered a lot.
Today, there are 35 beds in this temporary emergency shelter. The renovated factory building is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Shelter has very small paid staff. So if we had to pay everybody, we'd close the doors. This place really is built by volunteers. The staff itself just keep them going, but really the volunteers want to do most of the work. Many of our volunteers have been ex-guests that leave and come back and want to return something.
We have a great staff here. We have a staff that's committed to serve you know, our community. We have staff that's here all day, you know, every day. We have staff that's on at night and spends the night here, and they're really our nighttime ministers and that type of thing. And they really just kind of keep everything going.
I came first as a guest, needing a bed, and thank God there was one available. And I've been here ever since.
But the cold, hard fact is that there are too many hurting people here.
I think it's needed here particularly because we have an economy that relies a whole lot on low-wage industry, and that makes us vulnerable to kind of a easy slide to homelessness.
The kinds of jobs that have been lost recently in the economy around here are exactly the kinds of jobs that folks who are kind of struggling on the margin with limited education and limited skills, the kind of jobs that they're able to get and hold on to.
Board members here decided that there were too many people being turned away. People they knew they could help if only they had more room.
The number of people that we've had to turn away has increased I'd say during the summer we were averaging 10 to 15 people a day that we had to say, no, I'm sorry, we don't have room for.
I knew when I came needing a bed, if there wasn't any, I would have to go right back out in the streets in the world of sin that I was living in. But thank God I didn't have to do that. And I've been being blessed ever since. And it really hurts to have to turn away somebody that needs a bed, especially somebody with children or somebody that just doesn't have anywhere else to go. It really hurts.
That's probably the hardest part of the job here. And we have to do it way too often, way too often. Especially when you're looking at somebody with children and it's cold and maybe stormy or rainy or wet out there. And here they are standing there saying, we don't have any place to live. And you gotta say, gee, I'm sorry, but I just don't have any space available for you.
That's why the Christian Shelter is calling on God once again, this time to make room for more people. But once again, they're doing it without knowing where the money will come from or where the people are who can make this happen. They simply trust in the Lord and know that somehow He will provide.
We've really begun to make progress on the kitchen back there. And so we've added an additional night staff person, and we've started putting additional beds in the rooms.
It has been very difficult in our old kitchen to feed more than 25 people at a time, whereas in this facility we'll be able to house up to 60, even 60 plus people. And the kitchen is really suited for 80 or 80 plus. Plus it'll be a full commercial kitchen, where we would actually be able to serve meals to, people off the street, which we do that now, but it would be, give us a lot more flexibility. It's been challenging. We have just really had to turn it over to the Lord as far as, the means to do it. He has always provided, the money that's needed here at the shelter. He's provided the people, the resources, the time.
The Christian Shelter is a tax-exempt charitable organization. It gets no money from the government and is not affiliated with any particular denomination. Rather, it counts on local churches, Christian groups and individuals, businesses and civic organizations, those who recognize the need and step forward to help.
I have to give God the glory for everything that happens here. I guess if you were to take anyone that's here as an individual, they definitely would not be able to make all of this happen. It just wouldn't work that way. But it seems like, with everybody together, working together, and God is the driving force. I think that's really what it's all about.
It gives you fulfillment, I think. If you love the Lord and you love to help people, then it can only fulfill you in your need to be helpful. And I find that in my case that if I can help someone, then I have, fulfillment.
We got down to times when we had only a couple dollars in the bank. But God always provided. As that sign out front says it all. Provided for God through his people. And that's just where his place is provided for.